ladies, if you're watching this video right now and you're thinking about, weighing up the value in a man as a potential husband or partner or whatever, right? Ask yourself the question, where is he going? Right? Where is he going? Because wherever he's going, he's going to lead you. And if he's not going anywhere good, then he's not going to lead you anywhere good. I learned this lesson the hard way. All right? Not through marriage. It was actually through a business partnership relationship. And this had been a guy that I've been working with for a number of years. I look at this guy as a brother, love him, genuinely do. And we decided to get into business together. A project we've been working on for a number of years, and we said, let's go into business. And the way that we'd both kind of talked about this business partnership was, this is kind of like a bro marriage. We're kind of like two mates. We're getting married. It's kind of like we're kind of tying the knot. And I said, yeah, kind of a little bit. We're kind of committing to each other here, aren't we? It's like two people commit to working together. You might as well build a business around it. Likewise, two people commit to doing life together. You might as well build a marriage around it. Same thing. It's just commitment. Not a popular word throughout much of our 21st century society today, because commitment takes effort, takes hard work, demands a whole load of stuff. And where there is commitment, there can be no selfishness and there can be no irresponsibility. And that's the thing. So coming back to this story, we'd agreed, let's get married, we're gonna build this business together, and we did do. And then we launched the business. And the business faced a little bit of crisis within the first 3, 4, 5 months. And one day, I think it was a week or so before Christmas, and I'd invested heavily into this business in time, money, effort, various resources. And my business partner came around to the house one day and said, yeah, we need to talk. I need to get out. 3 months, I'm getting out. I'm out. And the business had been essentially built around our collaborative relationship. And it actually took me around about 2.5 to 3 years to tidy up the mess that had been made. Where we had been initially we'd committed to collaborating, when I was kind of left at the altar, if you like, figuratively speaking, it took me years to tidy up. And I think that we learned to collaborate even more efficiently through the process. The reason why I share with you that story is because we've got to be very, very careful, right, who it is that we commit to in life. This doesn't matter whether it's business, whether it's a relationship. It's one thing spending time with someone. It's something else just, enjoying someone's company. It's something else having a little bit of companionship. And then it's something else being committed to someone in marriage, right? Committed to someone for life. Because commitment doesn't go back. For better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, for sickness and in health, I do, all right? Doesn't change one's mind. Commitment's a strong word.
It's true. And I think the essence of what you're talking about here is actually being able to read and see a person's character before you can actually commit to them. Because otherwise you stand to be let down and disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I guess, so the essence of what we're talking about here is selfishness and irresponsibility. And I think back to some of the earlier points in our own marriage where this relates now to the different priorities that we came into the marriage with, which we've already talked about. You had come into our marriage looking to unify, looking to work together, whereas I was still leading quite a selfish life in many ways. Like my priorities were myself, my own kind of esteem, feeling good about myself, doing things that I enjoyed, and that came at a huge cost. It came at a huge cost of our connection, our trust, and like we've already said, the intimacy in the early days of our marriage, selfishness and a responsibility on my part, because we were entering into a responsibility for a marriage together, which two people have to commit to that and make that work. But if only one person is as being responsible for the marriage element, then that just doesn't work. And that caused tension and stress in the early days.
And again, we just want to come back and reiterate that, some people will say, and this was an experience I'd had with my parents, right? A common complaint of my own mother, I'm the one driving this marriage, I'm the one doing this, I'm the one doing that, I'm the one who does this, I'm the one who does that. And then I realised in the early stages of our marriage, my major complaints were, I'm the one doing this, I'm the one doing that, I'm the one driving this marriage, I'm the one. I had learned how to approach marriage from my mother. All right, my mother and father ended up getting divorced after 28 years for this one primary reason, that my father, from a mother's perspective, wouldn't take responsibility. But I had to question, all right, how much space did she create for him to pick up weight? Because I had to really go against my own grain to create space for Karen. Now, the reason why we're coming back to that story, not for the sake of being repetitive here, but more, as we consider the implications of irresponsibility and selfishness here, I guess I'd probably found a source of my own kind of self-worth, self-esteem as a man, my ability to kind of keep it all together, right, if you like. And I guess in the early stages of our marriage, I prized myself in the ability we're going to keep our life together. I'm going to build this marriage. I'm going to drive this marriage. And what I didn't think about, if I'm going to be completely honest, was involving Karen in the process. So I didn't create space for her. And I gave Karen the option to essentially stay with me or drop me like a fly. All right? And I put my own neck on the line, because Karen could have said, right, you're totally right, Kane. No, I still want to pursue my career. There's other things I want to do with my life. So it was a gamble on my part. But Karen said, no, I want this relationship. So once Karen had said that, I then had a basis to hold her to account. All right? And what I'm saying is when Karen had said, yeah, I want this relationship, the busyness and the weekends working and all, it just dropped. She dropped it right away. So Karen's self-centeredness died the moment that I'd asked her for more. So what I'm saying is I gave her the opportunity to change. I asked her if she would be willing to change. She said, yes, I would be willing to change. And then she changed. Selfishness left the relationship, or a degree of selfishness left the relationship, which created space for more trust.
That's a really good way of framing it. And what you're talking about actually is character again, because we don't know what we don't know in life. And sometimes we're not aware of how we're living our lives until someone else says, look, why, it would be really great if we could spend more time together. Why are you busy on all these different things? But actually it was just the way I'd always lived my life. So I wasn't aware of it until you said. So being able to change, adapt, adjust and grow and mature is a sign of character, which is a good thing to look out for. When you can actually see that someone's willing to change for you, it's a good basis for a relationship.